Hello, this is Anthony D. Smith again. This is another video exposing psychiatry for what it really is. It is a mind control conspiracy against something that is called the psychic race. This is anyone on the planet who has psychic abilities and has the capacity to experience psychic phenomena. It is a race war. Psychiatry is a race war, demonizing, criminalizing, and prohibiting all living functions, physically, biologically, spiritually, and mentally, of psychics on the planet. And I'm a psychic. I'm a part of the psychic race. I am forming a religion around the psychic race to protect them from the psychiatric, genocidal, racist institution that is ruling all world governments and usurping all the rulership of the world governments to this day under the false pretenses of healthcare, medicine, and public welfare. They make the false claim that they are protecting the citizens of each government that they take over and create what you call a psychiatric state out of. The Holocaust was one of those states. In Nazi Germany, when the Holocaust occurred, that was a psychiatric state. In the USSR, that was a psychiatric state where they made up they created the diagnosis of sluggish schizophrenia, where you did not have to have any symptoms of schizophrenia and they would still call you schizophrenic. That is because they suspect you to be a psychic. This is pervasive. All humans who are not psychic inherently are either A, mind controlled by some psychiatric conspiracy, either technologically or naturally through the collective conscious, or they're doing it of their own free will and volition, naturally as it comes innately to them, which is probably using Occam's razor is probably the most plausible explanation. All non-psychic humans, and I know that is 99% of the human population, and that explains how much of a minority I'm in. But here's something interesting. Leaving the psychic race to 1%, you understand that they say that schizophrenia exists in less than 1% of the population. That's because they have controlled the population of psychics since the dawn of non-psychic humanity, and they have genocidally race warred against them under different names, but psychiatry is just the name that they have for it today. Okay. So, prefacing that, what I'm going to tell you about the fact that what psychics do is their powers work off what's called stochastic resonance. It is a scientific or physics term. And they also, the way the mind works as a radiation is psychoacoustically. It's a sonic radiation. And it works off how we are telepathically communicating is most likely via radio waves, transmissions naturally. And it operates on the carrier wave band is where the information stored exchanges. And so what's going on here and what I'm about to show you is there is supposed to be only two voices, two people having a conversation on this mobile phone line, me and my mother. But there is a third voice in here, and you can even hear it. And I will show it to you in the exact mark where it comes through. And I know who this person is because I have a telepathic bond with them. And this is exact proof of this. I've recorded their voice when they're not, I'm not just hearing it in my head alone. Now, psychiatry will tell you and conspire against us, call it schizophrenia and then call it paranoid schizophrenia because they lie and they gaslight and they anti-scientifically cover up all the evidence which these so-called people that have been made in the patients, psychics that have been made in the patients, made oppressed and owned by normal, so-called normal human society or government hierarchical rule, have had their characters completely defamed and destroyed, and their validity of their statements. And it comes from a psychiatrist named Kurt Snyder. And Kurt Snyder is the one who created what you call the first rank symptoms, or FRS, of schizophrenia, which basically, first rank symptoms are basically proof of telepathic and other psychic abilities latent in these patients that they're falsely, fraudulently labeling as schizophrenic. And they deny them the scientific validity of their explanation of their eyewitness firsthand scientific input. And then they do all these mental gymnastics to deny that what they're talking about is real and psychic. I get into the history of that and what that means, but like I said, this is just raw evidence right here. This person's voice comes through either me because I have the telepathic connection, or it's coming through whatever way it works. You see that this is evidence that psychics that are falsely labeled and attacked, scheduled by psychiatry to be socially excluded from society, which is slavery. It's civil death, social death. These are real terms used to describe slavery in the recent times, and in the ancient world as well. Civil death, just look up civil death in the ancient world in Greece and Rome and different things like that. But enough talk, let's get to the evidence. It was right there. Now, my mother was talking, and while she was talking, there was another, my mother's voice is one voice. If I was able to get audio analysis technology to use on this, we would be able to extrapolate the fact that there are 3 voices on this line, not 2. And I understand that on landlines, you see, the way the technology works on landlines, this is a mobile line, by the way, other calls do filter through and everything like that. But this is different. This is the mobile line, 1. 2, I know whose voice this is. And that's what makes it evidence. So let's listen to it one more time. See if we can get my voice in there. You hear it right there where she says, my mother says oxalates, it's lower. And then there's a audio signal, which is boosted. And it's a different female voice while my mother is talking and breathing. And it says, they already have. They already have. Listen to it one more time. And on that one, I only heard have. And so that's it right there. Evidentiary proof. Now, the collective conscious has been programmed by psychiatry to be enslaved by psychiatrists, to only be able to perceive reality the way that psychiatrists pre-program it. And they have programmed it to not believe in psychic phenomena, not believe in psychics. Even though the psychic race came before humanity and are the progenitors of non-psychic, so-called normal humans. Normal humans have devolved from us. There'll be more on this later. I have to go.